I'm Harley. So I thought I would talk about Game of Thrones this season. And I was going to break it down sort of episode by episode. And I will be completely honest. This watching one episode a week business, killing me inside. It's absolutely killing me. And you bastards didn't tell me that the last episode was leaked. I didn't find out until Sunday. Sunday! It happened on Tuesday! You won't let me down. My mom is coming out because my mom voice is out because I'm upset with you all. I'm very disappointed. Not mad, just disappointed. So, anyways, Game of Thrones, season 7. So this is almost the last season. This is the season before the last season, which, I mean, for those of you who are fans, you know this. What I found really fun in going into this season was that originally it was supposed to be one long last season. They were just going to do seven seasons and be it. However, this global warming that some of you out there say is a myth has really fucked everything up because there's no snow. And since they're supposed to be in the north and winter is here, they need snow. And if they make their own snow, it's really, really friggin' expensive. So they're trying to go to places where there's snow, but they're running out of places to go to get the snow, to film for the crap. So they ended up filming the first 7 episodes, and they're calling that a season, and then they'll film the last 7 episodes, and that's going to be season 8, and that'll wrap it all up. All right. So season 7, episode 1, Dragonstone. A lot of good things happen here. I will say that there are some things that drive me nuts, and I'm going to go into that. So some of this is going to be a synopsis. Some of it will be my personal feelings on it. You can let me know what you think. I'm going to try to be concise. I'm trying to not ramble on. So there are 7 main things that happen. Arya makes sure that everyone knows that the North remembers. She goes and takes her revenge. Oh, I should have written his name down because now I'm drawing a friggin' blank. Oh, hell. Somebody's going to have to write in the comments what his name is. But it's the old dude that controlled the bridge, that screwed him over and got her mom killed and his brother's pregnant wife. She goes and she makes sure that that whole family knows that she knows what they did. She doesn't let them know that it's her until they're all dying or dead, but she makes sure that the message gets out. And it's really just showing that we all knew that Arya was fucked up. I mean, she's gone through some shit, and she has, made a list. She has a list of those that she's going to kill. Her list keeps getting longer and longer, and the thing that's really interesting about this particular scene is that she's shown that she's good on 1-1 combat. She's shown that she can take out, several people at a time. She just took out, 50 people at once in a well-planned, thought-out scheme. And make sure that there's one person left to tell the story, so that everybody's going to know that all these people died, and there's one person left that's going to be like, hey, this little girl did it, and this is her message, and I'm scared as hell, and I'm never going back there. So we get to see the scope of Arya's, shall we say, talents at this point. I mean, her skill set has grown massively, and I think that was really kind of the point of this particular episode. Finally, Bran gets to Castle Black for the love. It has taken friggin' forever. Now, here's the thing that drives me crazy about this. He gets to Castle Black. Nobody sends a raven to tell Jon that his brother is alive and at Castle Black. No one, not one person. Not one single person from the castle thinks, I should really let my new king of the North know his brother's over here. Right? I mean, come on. So this is, I'm going to warn you, this is going to keep annoying me because this goes on for a long time. They draw this shit out for fucking ever. They don't even find out, Jon doesn't find out that his brother's alive, I think, until, maybe episode 5? I don't remember exactly. We'll get there when we get there. But it's a freaking long time. And it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Because if you're Jon's friend, even if you don't like him, he's still your freaking king. And he needs to know that his brother's alive. It's simple as that. We also get to see Jon and Sansa kind of not really agreeing. So they're Jon is trying to be a leader. He's always been a reluctant leader. He's always been a reluctant king. It's never really what he set out to do. It's never what he thought he could do, but it's what everyone expects of him. And whether he likes it or not, he is a natural-born leader. So with that being said, he has thoughts on how this should be done. He wants it to be, he knows that the war, it's going to be a bloody battle, that a lot of people are going to be lost, but he wants to minimize that loss as much as possible, and the only way to do that is to align everyone, not just the North. He understands that the North alone cannot fight this fight because it's not, it's against a whole army of the dead. I mean, and so he's going to need to reunite all of Westeros. And so his problem really becomes, how does he do that? He can't just parade down south and be like, hey guys, this thing is happening and we need to do it. Everybody's going to think he's on crack. Nobody's going to believe him. So he understands that, and that's where the problem really lies. And Sansa is trying to explain that he might have to be more ruthless than he would like to be able to get the army that he needs to fight this war. And so we get to see this it's not exactly a power struggle, but it's more of a my experiences count too battle. They've each lived separately for so long and had their own problems that to see they each have had these things happen, but I don't think at any point they've explained to the other one what they went through to be where they are now. So Jon has to kind of respect what Sansa's been through and learn her experiences to see that she does know Cersei, that she had to live with Cersei for years, and she really has an insight that he just can't afford to overlook at this point. And she has to accept that even though she might want to be queen or the Lady of the North, she can't overrule him. He's still the king. So what he says, that's the law. And so it's her coming to terms with that as well, that she may have these opinions, they may be good opinions, but ultimately it's his decisions that matter. Then we get to go see Cersei. And I hate to say it because last season, or maybe late the season before, I actually found myself feeling bad for Cersei at some points because she really has had a lot of struggles. I mean, if you look at her story in the long run, I mean, she was basically sold by her father to be married into a family that she hated. None of her opinions were really listened to by any of the men in her family, maybe with the exception of maybe her brother. But now she is finally queen, and she has gotten to the place where she wants to be, but she's still not necessarily being listened to. She still has to fight to be heard, and for the respect and the loyalty that her position, even if I hate her, I mean, she's a queen at this point. Her position alone should allow her the respect and loyalty of her subjects. Now, with that being said, I totally get the other side of it. If I was one of her subjects and I found out that Dany was coming with 3 full-grown dragons, and not just a rumor of dragons, but actually dragons have been seen at this point, I think I would also be going, Queen, I need your plan. I don't just want to stand out on the battlefield and get my head burned off. I would like to know how we're going to fight this. So I think their pushback is founded, but from Cersei's point of view, she sees it as disloyal. And so there's, I can't remember. Is it Euron Greyjoy? Am I getting that wrong? I might be getting that wrong. But the Greyjoy dude, the brother, he comes and he says he wants to marry her. And he thinks that because he has a big navy, basically, that he deserves to be married. Much to Cersei's dismay, I mean, she realizes that this isn't an offer she can outright refuse. So I think in her mind, she's giving him a task that is so huge, he can never fulfill it. But we all know that he is not to be trifled with. So it's quite interesting to see their interaction. I found that really entertaining. We do also get to see Samwell settle in, trying to become a, what do you call it? Man, I am all out of words today. I want to say Elderman, but that's a different show that I've been watching here and there. A maester. He wants to be a maester. So we see him settling into his training, and it's just outright awful. I mean, he's basically cleaning up old men and changing their chamber pots. And that's just a terrible, terrible life. Which I understand he's got to pay his dues and whatnot. But again, it's someone who has been through a lot, and nobody is listening to his experiences, his life experiences thus far. He's pretty much just told to sit in a corner and do as he's told. Well, and being where he is, he at least is afforded to a ginormous library where he can do research in his downtime. And he discovers that there is a crap ton of dragon glass under Castle Dragonstone. So at least he can get that message to Jon. And he does the thing that everybody else should do. He sends a raven straight off and is like, hey, Jon, there's this stuff. You need to know about it. Here's where it is. And that will come into play later, too, of course. We get to catch up with the Hound. The Hound goes and meets up with the Red Priest. Or he's been with the Red Priest, but we see them traveling. And they end up back at the cottage, the same cottage that he and Arya were at, where he stole the money and supplies from the farmer and his daughter and left them. And we see what becomes of them. They actually probably starved to death, or the daughter starved to death, and then the father killed himself, or maybe they were starving, so the one killed the other. I mean, we never are really going to know exactly what happened, but both are obviously very, very dead. And we get to see, and we've seen little bits and pieces of this throughout the series, that the Hound is not some sociopathic, just feelingless monster. I mean, he does have feelings, and we get to see that in his own way he is dealing with these things, and he does feel remorse, and he's not going to outright say that he regrets anything, but we do get to see what he does in the wake of discovering the consequences of his actions, which maybe he hasn't really been privy to much in the past, where he's been able to just act and go on about his life and not really see the wake of those actions. And now it's kind of all being brought back to him. Also, this is the first point where he gets to share in the vision of the Red Priest. He's always been a non-believer, and at this point, he's being given piece by piece evidence of what's going to happen if he does nothing, or if he does continue to fight. And it's going to be a hard fight for him. Well, for all of them. And finally, the focus of this show, I mean, it's been to get us back into everybody's lives, the main characters' lives, but the big piece of this episode was seeing Dany come home to Dragonstone, hence the title of the episode. She, as she walks onto the shores, it's surreal to her that it's all in front of her, and it's this huge expanse of land and property that she's worked so hard to get to this point. And it's a very touching scene. It takes up about the last 15 minutes of the episode. And seeing her homecoming is just kind of breathtaking, because all of those people who care about her and are with her during this, they sense it too. They see how much she is affected by all of this. And really, it's not the end of her story. It's more like just the beginning of the next chapter, because now the real battle begins. She not only has to protect those that she's brought with her, but she has to fight the rest of Westeros to be able to accomplish her goal, to be the ultimate queen of Westeros. So it was a challenge to kind of watch it. It was very emotional to see this happen. And then what kills me is that's where they end the freaking episode, right there. And that's where I want to hit play. I want to keep going. I want to see the rest of it. And it's a good place. Don't get me wrong. It's a good place to end the episode, but god damn it. I mean, really? So, another fun fact. Ed Sheeran's in this episode, and he's super fun. It was a good place to put him. But overall, the episode was very, very good. I like it. I like where the season is going. I think in the beginning when I was watching these, it feels like it's a little bit slow moving. I feel like it's kind of been a snowball rolling downhill, and I almost feel like we're at the bottom of the hill, and now we have to roll back up. Does that make sense? It's gaining momentum now, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be hopefully powering through the rest of these episodes and getting these, put up here for you guys to watch. But feel free to leave comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your feelings are on the episode. And I will talk to you all real soon. Bye.